Today we will see remaining parts of the chapter number 8. Today's our point is chemical properties of nonmetals. Nonmetals are a collection of elements having less similarity between physical and chemical properties. And nonmetals are also known as the electronegative elements as they form negative charge ions by accepting electrons. Some examples of the chemical properties or chemical reactions are given here. First is the reaction of nonmetal with oxygen. When nonmetals reacts or combines with oxygen, they forms acidic oxides. In some cases, they form neutral oxides. Some examples are given here. See, carbon is reacted with oxygen. There are two types of reaction. When there is complete combustion, there are different products, and when there is incomplete combustion, there are different products are formed. When carbon is reacted with oxygen in complete combustion, it forms carbon dioxide, which is acidic in nature, and in incomplete or partial combustion, it forms carbon monoxide, which is neutral in nature. When sulfur is reacted with oxygen after combustion, it forms sulfur dioxide, which is acidic in nature. See, our next reaction is reaction of nonmetals with water. Generally, nonmetals does not react with the water. Exception is the halogens. Halogens shows reaction with water. Here one example is given for you. When chlorine is reacted with water, it forms HOCl in aqueous form and HCl in aqueous form. Next reaction is the reaction of dilute acids with nonmetals. Nonmetals also does not show reaction with dilute acid. Exception is halogen. When chlorine reacts with hydrogen bromide, it forms hydrochloric acid and bromine in aqueous form. And the last reaction is reaction of nonmetals with hydrogen. Nonmetals react with hydrogen under certain conditions such as proper temperature, pressure, use of catalyst, etc. In such situations, they forms reaction or they show reaction with the hydrogen. Here some examples are given. When sulfur is reacted with hydrogen, it forms hydrogen sulfide, and when nitrogen is reacted with hydrogen, it forms ammonia. Now we have to see what are the ionic compounds and how they are formed. The ionic compounds are such type of compounds where ions are interacted or bound with each other with a great force of attraction. The compounds formed from two units, namely cations and anions, are called as the ionic compounds. That means the negative charge ions and positive charge ions forms the ionic compounds. The cations and anions being oppositely charged, there is an electrostatic force of attraction between them. Due to opposite charges, there is electrostatic force of attraction is acting in between them. You know that this force of attraction between cation and anion are is called as the ionic bond. That means due to the force of attraction, there is formation of ionic bonds in between these opposite charged ions. The number of cations and ions in a compound and the magnitude of the electric charge on them in such that the positive and negative charges balance with each other. As a result, an ionic compound is electrically neutral. That means that though there are the opposite ions, they balance each other, and the whole ionic compound is electrically neutral in nature. Ionic compounds are crystalline in nature. The surface of all the particles of a crystalline substance have a definite shape and are smooth and shiny. The regular arrangement of ions in the solid ionic compounds is responsible for their crystalline nature. There is specific arrangement of these ions, therefore they have a crystalline nature. The arrangement of ions is different in different ionic compounds, and therefore the shapes of their crystals are different. The main factor that determine the general arrangement of ions in a crystal is the attractive force between opposite charged ions and the repulsive force between the similar charged ions. You know that there is attraction between opposite charges and repulsion between the similar charges. Due to this, there is a specific arrangement of the ions, and therefore each crystal has have the specific shape. Because of this, the general crystalline structure has negative charge ions arranged around a positive charge ion and positive ions arranged around a negative ion, and two of the important factors responsible for the certain crystal structure are as follows. First is the size of the positive and negative charge ions, and second is the magnitude of the electrical charge on the ions. The electrostatic attraction in the neighboring ions with opposite charges is very strong, and that is why the melting points of the ionic compounds are high. Also, the ionic compounds are hard and brittle. Due to opposite charge ions, there is a attraction force is very strong, and therefore melting point of the ionic compounds is very high, and these compounds are hard and is brittle in nature. Now we have to see the properties of ionic compounds. For this they have given one experiment, and in this experiment apparatus are given as shown in the page number 98, and there are 3 chemicals are given, but we have to take only potassium iodide. The remaining 2 are deleted from the syllabus, so we have to do experiment only by using the potassium iodide. According to procedure, we have to take the potassium iodide crystals in a spoon and we have to heat it and see the reaction. Now see on the next page, they have shown the experiment in the diagram number 8.6. First is to heat the salt sample, and second to check conductivity of salt solution. We have to prepare the salt solution, and we have to find whether there is electric conduction or not. That means we have to check the electric conductivity through the salt solution. Now we have to see the general properties of the ionic compounds. According to the experiments, they have given us the general properties. First is the attractive force between the positive and negative charged ions is strong. Therefore, the ionic compounds exist in solid state and are hard. Due to the more amount of attractive force, they are always in the solid state and they are hard in nature. Second property is the ionic compounds are brittle and can be broken into pieces by applying pressure. Third is the intermolecular force. Intermolecular means the force between the 2 molecules. Is known as the intermolecular force. Intermolecular force of attraction is high in ionic compounds and large energy is required to overcome it. Therefore, the melting and boiling points of ionic compounds are high. Due to high intermolecular force, melting and boiling point are also high. Next property is ionic compounds are water soluble. That means they dissolve in water, because the water molecules orient in a particular manner around the ions separated by dissociation process. As a result of this, a force of attraction is established between the ion and the surrounding water molecules, replacing the original intermolecular attraction, and aqueous solutions of ionic compounds are formed. But these compounds are not soluble in kerosene or petrol. They are insoluble in solvents like kerosene and petrol. This is because, unlike water, a new attractive force cannot be established in these solvents. And the last property is the ionic compounds cannot conduct electricity when they are in solid state. In this state, the ions cannot leave their places, and in the fused or molten state they can conduct electricity. As in this state the ions are mobile, and the aqueous solutions of ionic compounds conduct electricity as they contain the dissolved ions.